Hello students, today I have come up with the worksheet of the chapter Ammonia from class 10 syllabus. So, I will attach the worksheet PDF along with this video and see most of them are reactions. So, reactions are directly there in your book. So, I won't write the reactions in a balanced way all over the video. Okay, I will just tell you that these are present in the book, and whichever questions are indirect questions, I will definitely tell the answers. Okay, so let's start with it. Our first question is, what is the difference between liquid ammonia and liquor ammonia? So, whenever you will be given a question to distinguish between, you have to definitely draw a column like this. You have to do this. If I get any answer where column is not drawn or in the column form the answers are not written, then I will definitely cut marks. So this is liquid ammonia and this is liquor ammonia. You have to write like this. So what is liquid ammonia? Liquid ammonia is basically the liquefied form of the gaseous ammonia. Means when gaseous ammonia is converted into a liquid, then that is known as liquid ammonia. It is pure ammonia, only ammonia is there. But what is liquor ammonia? Liquor ammonia is basically an aqueous solution of ammonia. Means ammonia in water will give you liquor ammonia. Okay, so this is the first question. The second question is, copper sulfate when treated with ammonium hydroxide gives a pale blue precipitate, but on further adding ammonium hydroxide forms an inky blue solution. Explain the observation with suitable reactions. So that is our second question. So the second question is, when copper sulfate reacts with ammonium hydroxide, then we get a pale blue precipitate. Basically, copper hydroxide is formed and copper hydroxide's color is pale blue. It is a pale blue precipitate. Along with that, we get ammonium sulfate. We need to balance this. Okay, so this is pale blue precipitate, but on further adding excess ammonium hydroxide, we generally get a complex salt of copper. The complex salt of copper, it has a name, tetraamine copper 2 sulfate. This complex salt is basically deep blue or inky blue solution. In your book, there are two separate reactions for this. One is this one and the other is, you have to write this part along with this and give the balanced equation for the formation of this complex. You have to write both the reactions and you have to explain that this copper hydroxide was a pale blue precipitate which was formed on first addition of ammonium hydroxide, but when excess of ammonium hydroxide is added, the pale blue precipitate dissolves in the excess ammonium hydroxide and we get a complex salt which is tetraamine copper 2 sulfate, and this is basically an inky blue solution. Okay, the next question is, a black colored compound A. Black color compound means copper oxide. It is named as A. On heating with a pungent smelling gas means always ammonia. Ammonia is the gas which has a pungent smell. It is denoted as B. Gives a brown residue C. C, here ammonia acts as a reducing agent. It will reduce from copper oxide to copper. This reaction needs to be balanced. Please balance this reaction. I won't balance it again and again. Okay. So this is C. The gas B on treating with excess greenish yellow gas D. Okay, the gas B means ammonia on treating with excess greenish yellow gas. Okay, greenish yellow gas means chlorine. Chlorine has a color of greenish yellow. So this was B and this is denoted as D. It is given in excess. It results in the formation of HCl and along with that NCl3. Sorry, NCl3. Please balance the reactions. I have not balanced the reactions. Please balance the reactions, okay? Since they are there in your book, I am not balancing it in the video now, okay? Okay, now these are the suitable reactions and at last you have to say that A is copper oxide, B is ammonia, C is copper and D is chlorine. You have to write this at the end. Okay, our next question is name a definite reagent which is only used to detect ammonia. This definite reagent is Nessler's reagent. What happens? Nessler's reagent is basically colorless. When ammonia passes through Nessler's reagent, it turns pale brown. On passage of excess ammonia, it converts into a brown precipitate. Okay. So differentiate between the reactions of, next question, differentiate between the reactions of ammonium hydroxide with ferrous sulfate and ferric chloride with balanced reactions. So, this is question number 5. Reaction with ferrous sulfate and reaction with ferric chloride. You have to write down the balanced reactions. So, on reacting with ferrous sulfate, we get product. What product do we get? FeOH whole 2, which is a dirty green precipitate. And on reaction with ferric chloride, what product do we get? FeOH whole 3, which is a reddish brown precipitate. And after this you have to write down the balanced reactions. This is the first point and second point is the balanced reaction. Balanced reactions are directly there in your book. The next question is Haber's process. You have to state down the balanced reaction. It's there in your book. What temperature is used and why? It's there in your book. Name the catalyst promoter. All these are there in your book. Okay. This question number 6 with relation to Haber's process. There are 5 questions given. 5 questions of Haber's process are directly there in your book. The next question is, in the laboratory preparation of ammonia from ammonium salts, why ammonium nitrate is not used as a reagent? We have seen that in the laboratory preparation the reagents are heated, means the reactants are heated, and ammonium nitrate on heating can easily decompose into nitrous oxide and water vapor, and the second point is it is explosive in nature. Along with that, there is another question: which drying agent is used to dry ammonia and why? Drying agent used is calcium oxide. Why? Because calcium oxide is basic in nature. It is basic in nature and it will not react with ammonia. Why? Because this is basic in nature and ammonia is also an alkaline gas. Ammonia is also basic in nature. So both the bases will not react with each other. Question number 8 is, state the balanced reaction for the catalytic oxidation of ammonia, directly there in your book. Along with that, there is another question: in this reaction, why does the catalyst glow? See, this is an exothermic reaction. This reaction of catalytic oxidation of ammonia is an exothermic reaction. So continuously heat is evolved. So the catalyst continuously glows. Next question is, how can you obtain ammonia from aluminium metal? Question number 9. From aluminium metal, first step is, aluminium will react with nitrogen to form aluminium nitride. Okay? Then aluminium nitride will react with warm water to form aluminium hydroxide and along with that ammonia. Okay, so this is how we will obtain ammonia from aluminium metal. Next is, name an organic fertilizer and an inorganic fertilizer obtained from ammonia. So organic fertilizer is urea. Urea has a formula NH2CO NH2. And inorganic fertilizer, you can write anything. I am writing ammonium sulfate. Ammonium nitrate is also an inorganic fertilizer. Okay. So these are the questions present in your worksheet and these are the probable answers. So study the worksheet properly as well as your book properly, and I hope you will get questions common from these portions in your exam. Okay, so thank you.